The valley of Jammu and Kashmir has its own mixed bag of happiness and sorrows. The insurgency which gripped the state in the 90s has had several consequences for the political economy of the state. There was a time period of peace during the early 2000s owing to the efforts of our erstwhile Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. But soon the insurgency was again on the rise. The anti-national elements were again shouting the slogans of Kashmir ki Azadi. This time even the school-going girls came out and pelted stones at our army jawans. People who protest against the Armed Forces Special Pass Act, or those who demand a so-called Azadi, or those who shout slogans of Afzal Guru being a martyr, even realize what it means to be a martyr. A martyr is not someone who covertly attacks the parliament of the nation, puts several lives at stake, and plots terrorist attacks on the country. Instead, a martyr is someone who bravely fights to safeguard borders of the country, help people during national calamities, and feels proud to sing the tunes of the national anthem. Some separatists in Kashmir feel fun in showing disrespect to the tricolour. They dance to the tunes of Pakistan as they get all the funds from there. I believe should be thrown out of the country as soon as possible. Kashmir has always been an integral part of the country and would continue to be so. But if some people of the valley would show respect to our national entities, which I personally hold dear to myself and others also hold dear to themselves, then we surely don't need Kashmir. If school-going girls would continue to pelt stones at our jawans, then we don't need Kashmir. If the separatist elements would continue to fuel the young minds of the valley with anger and hatred against the rest of the country, then we surely don't need Kashmir. It's high time that the people of the valley should choose one of the things, guns or roses. The armed forces who are deployed in the valley are not there for fun. They mean serious business. They are there to safeguard the national borders and to prevent any anti-India activity. As we all know, there are constant ceasefire violations by Pakistan. They infiltrate their men and indoctrinate the young men of the valley. And since the border from Jammu side is very porous, therefore so as to prevent all this, we seriously need the armed forces being stationed inside the state. So, far as those people who accuse army of molesting the women over there are concerned, let me tell you that army has its own tribunals where trials are conducted, and those soldiers who are convicted of such charges are automatically court-martialed by the Indian Army. So the so-called human rights activists who jump into each and every matter need not worry about the people of Kashmir, as they are not being deprived of any right. Instead, those people live there with full dignity and plethora of rights. The problem with some people is that they have everything, then also they want to crave about everything. Because of the original inhabitants of the states, the Kashmiri Pandits were thrown out in the 1990s earlier. They had to literally live on the roads, while some of them managed to settle in Delhi and other nearby areas where some people are still homeless. I asked those human rights activists, where are they now? Is it not the case of the Kashmiri migrants a case of human rights violation? Before standing up for Rohingyas, why don't they stand up for Kashmiri migrants first? Our country is not ready to settle Rohingyas over here unless and until we first make Indian citizens settle peacefully back in Kashmir. So to conclude, I would like to say that the people of Kashmir should not be pitied, as they are living in luxury. The state, which was last year stripped off of Article 370, never ever deserved this special status. It should have been treated on par with other states earlier too. The centre has already spent much of the money and resources on Kashmir. Hence, it was now the time to settle scores with the state.